They are eventually apprehended. A car from the future appears above them as the cops approach to arrest them. Dr. Honda and his assistant are now aboard the vehicle. They go and find the two offenders in order to use them to their advantage. They are recommended by a medical practitioner to take part in the mission to populate Mars and send people there. Komachi and Nano must go to the highest peak on the island. Also, remove any cockroach nests since they are no longer necessary. The government has offered them pardon if they accept to participate in the experiment. The arrangement is satisfactory to both sides. Nano and Komachi have finished their training and are now prepared to go to Mars with the others. Aboard the Bugi's-2 spaceship with other criminals who were identical to them, Nano is prone to doubting the quality of what they provide, because the bulk of the members of their squad are thugs and dishonest guys. As she tells Komachi the tale, Keisuke Dojima, the ship's captain, assures them that they are about to arrive at their destination when they finally get to their goal. When they glance at Mars, they see that it isn't as red as it previously was. Instead, it is becoming more and more like the Earth. A thin layer of lush moss, Lieutenant Mina's device for releasing chemicals into the air, is launched into the atmosphere. Get rid of all of the bugs. Following that, the leader orders everyone to choose a partner. The team's drones identified Bugi's-1, a spacecraft launched into orbit 10 years ago. Dojima calls the doctor and notifies him that they are now ready for the first interaction. The groups then proceed to the next level. Begin by looking for any dead insects on the surface. Jen is shared by two people in the group. Maria and her family are surprised to see no insects on the grass. As long as people continue to look, three strange monsters appear out of nowhere and stand squarely in front of the two humans. They scurried away and took cover behind a rock. They were unaccustomed to such massive monsters. They are around the size of people and seem to be humanoid insects. The young guy, Komachi, is captivated by it and gestures at it, but it strikes Nano after a few seconds. The agony travels up her neck. It then speeds away in an instant, leaving Nano's dead body on the ground behind it. Nano dies, and Komachi holds her in his arms, helplessly watching. Komachi is informed about what happened during their first meeting. Another individual that was killed by the monsters was Asuka. They return to the boat quickly. They notify the captain of the situation, only to learn that the captain was already aware of it. The doctor advised him to keep the situation private and not discuss it with anyone else on the team. The bugs that were sent out 500 years ago, according to the captain, have evolved at an alarmingly fast pace. Because of the high quantities of radiation, they grew quickly, and as a consequence, they are more powerful than before. The doctor's picture emerges in front of the squad. He has created personalized injections that will give each person a unique set of abilities. They have no desire to engage in war with the parasites. Instead, they wish to cancel the voyage and return to Earth. However, the creatures swiftly encircled their ship. Lee offers to keep the insects at bay until the others can get the ship running again. He then goes outside to give him the prescription that the doctor recommended for him. When he reaches it, quick metamorphosis occurs inside his body, transforming him into a creature that is a cross between humans and crawling insects found on the ground. Lee may spew flames from his body at this time. In addition to bugs, Lee uses his new abilities to combat the bugs, who seem to be as strong as he is. He uses his special ability to blast fireballs from his palms. The strength of the flames provides the propulsion. Objects are returned to their original condition before being set on fire. However, when it ultimately comes to a halt, just the shell remains. The body of the animal is set on fire. The guy is subsequently attacked by a cockroach, which kills him instantly. At the same time, another cockroach enters the spaceship and starts destroying its glass. It is placed in the craft and promptly kills two of the passengers inside, leaving the remaining occupants afraid for their lives. Though the captain quickly gives the drug to himself and instantly witnesses the results. His lineage may be traced back to the DNA collected from bullet ants, which are capable of moving things 100 times their own weight. The captain then eliminates the bug by crushing it to the ground. Their joy is short-lived, however, as they see a swarm of insects approaching the ship. From the display on the monitor, everyone decides to leave since they know they will be vanquished if they stay to battle, and then return to the planet. To make things worse, the lieutenant's attempts to move the ship are useless. If even one of the engines fails, The whole system becomes unworkable. Someone seems to have done this on purpose. Because of the status of the spacecraft, it was unable to take off. In a short period of time, the captain devises a plan. He directs the group to travel to Bugs 1 and get all of the components required to fix Bugs 2, as he attempts to keep the insects at bay. Ichiro expresses a wish to stay on the ship with the captain, but everyone else agrees and provide him a helping hand. Before boarding the other ship, Komachi pays his respects in the compartment where Nano's remains are housed. This time is different. Despite the fact that he observes her inhaling what seem to be strange strings, he ignores them. The crew's next stage is to board the Mars rover, which must maneuver its way through a large amount of rock with insects. Tezuka approaches them, using oneself as a test subject for the medicine. He takes the guise of a Mackley bug, which can fire gases like bullets. Light manifests itself at a very quick pace. He uses his might to propel the Mars robot past the swarm of insects present. During this time, the captain deals with the bug issue. Despite his best efforts, a rising number of them are finding their way onto the ship. He flees to the control room, where he uses a vacuum to remove all of the air from the spacecraft. As a result of the increasing pressure, all of the insects confined therein would die. His approach is effective, and the insects seem to be losing consciousness. However, the leader is also suffering from a lack of oxygen. The fall knocked both him and Ichiro to the ground. The team that is currently inside the robot is going through the same thing. Something massive was going straight towards them. When they finally get a good look, they are taken aback to detect a vast swarm of millions of insects headed their way. Chuka hasn't given up the battle yet and keeps pushing the ship forward with all his power. They slap the animals and instantly land on them to defend themselves. The cockroaches' point of view from the other side of the wave. The celebration then continues on its course. However, not long thereafter, another wave comes. This one is bigger than the one before it. It is home to an astonishing number of living organisms. Shuka is unable to cope with both of them at the same time, so she has enlisted the help of two of her teammates. They are known as Maria and Osaku, and they may morph into their hybrid forms. They all make an effort. They attempted to repel all of the creatures, but the rover turned over on its side and crashed to the ground with great force. The three are hurled to the ground, and the others inside the rover are knocked comatose. The rover had been on autopilot the whole time, so it guided everyone to the ship to which they were supposed to fly. Suka, Maria, and Osaku try to fight the monster horde, but are finally defeated and slaughtered. Those who were asleep inside the rover will awaken to find themselves at Bug 1. They enter the building as two additional people stand guard outside. Mina investigates to determine the source of the problem. They rapidly determine that the spacecraft is talking with someone or something on Earth, only then did. The gang flees the building as soon as they hear gunfire. Both of the guards have been executed. These are cockroaches. Komachi gives the poison to Komachi. He takes a drug, which causes him to morph into a huge hornet. He is able to fill holes in the system due to his newly acquired abilities. Jen evolves into a desert locust when she repeats the same behavior. Mina has the power to morph into a praying mantis with cutting skills and can jump up to 90 stories, cut the parasites into bite-sized pieces. The team fights bugs and is effective in eradicating them in a short period of time. The next thing that happens is that the doctor calls someone. One of the insects answers the phone. In the universe, it distinguishes itself from other insects by being able to speak with the physician in Japanese. Following the conclusion of the talk, the cockroach will return to the spaceship known as Bugs 2 and continue its voyage. The monster's body bursts apart along the middle, revealing a transformed version of Asuka on the other side. At one's house, the staff thought she had died. She utilized her might to push the insects away. They were effective in pitting themselves against one another. She then strangles the captain and washes Ichiro's body with water. The doctor has assigned them the duty of retrieving an egg from a cockroach infestation so that the Japanese government might breed them and utilize them to boost their army. Cockroach extermination was really a side chore for them. Their major obligation lay elsewhere. Following that, Ichiro and Asuka exit the spaceship while the egg remains on board. Regardless of this, the cockroach egg starts to hatch in the center, and two fully formed cockroaches emerge. Asuka tries to take advantage of her predicament, influence over them, yet it isn't producing the expected results. In terms of development, the animals are light years ahead of the other species. As a result, they are given the most authority. They took Asuka's life, and now they want more deaths like it. Help. Cockroaches on the surface will expand their wings and fly to the ship in response to the call. When a swarm of cockroaches board the spaceship, it quickly starts to malfunction and crashes near Bugs 1. The bugs with changed DNA emerge from the spaceship, signaling the others to commence their attack. The group, which includes Komachi, delivers the leftover medicine to himself with the help of a needle, accelerating his growth. They have little difficulty getting rid of ordinary cockroaches. Those that have thrived, on the other hand, are tough to defeat. Mina loses her life as one of them rips off her arm. Jin injects himself with the medication to get the second dosage, while Komachi is already on his third. They will be able to kill more insects at a faster pace now that they have these new abilities. Jin resolves to give himself another opportunity, which results in the development of wings. The insects are now attacking him from above. They keep approaching the two in waves, and don't stop. Slow, owing to the large number of people in the group, Jen understands that the only way to prevail against them is for them to beat her. Those who have grown into leaders, he injects himself with the drug multiple times, hastening the course of his change. Furthermore, each extra amount makes it difficult to enhance. He then kicks one of the bosses in the skull, causing him to tumble to the ground. Hurl yourself forward with all your might. However, he has used all of his strength and is no longer able to fight. Despite their best efforts, they are unable to rescue Jin from defeat at the hands of the other leader. To prevent the boss from murdering them, a dazzling and magical creature is on its way to them. It creates dust that emits light everywhere. Every single individual is taken aback. The once flying monster Nano has matured into its full form. One of the bugs shoots at Komachi as he flies toward Nano, stopping him from reaching Nano in time. Regardless of this, it was revealed that the dust Nano scattered included small explosives that, when detonated, set off a chain reaction. They are bringing all of the parasites with them. Jin avoids the explosion by flying away from it before it can touch him. Komachi was saved in the nick of time. Nano, on the other hand, is murdered when the bomb explodes. When Komachi awakens, he learns that Jin has totally transformed into an insect. Jin tells Komachi that this is his new life, walks in the direction of the ship. Even before entering the premises, he hits the delicate bug but does not kill it out of respect for it. Ichiro is still a member of our team. By squishing the bug behind Komachi, Ichiro has saved his life. The two humans are eventually able to leave in the escape pod, and the bugs follow them back to Earth. When the doctor returned to Earth, he learned Ichiro had hacked into their system and was abusing it. The whole meeting was televised live across the world. The doctor's assistant starts to grow worried. Now that the Japanese government's long-kept secret has been made public, she prepared to shoot him. For the Japanese national government, the doctor, on the other hand, is prepared for the onslaught and avoids being injured by the bullet by confining them in a fence-protected space. Following that, he is responsible for the assistant's death by injecting poison into the wound. When they return to the spaceship, Ichiro makes a solemn pledge to tell the truth to everyone.